Good morning, everybody. What is going on? Stylist from the back room. We've got a very, very special episode this week. We have a user request. We've got our beauty quiz. We've got a new product review. And as always, every week, we got some motivation for you. Good morning, John. How are you, buddy?
Eddie, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. This week's raw.
So I didn't even have to ask you how your week's going. You just gave it to us right out of the box.
I give it to you, man. I'm in pain.
We've got you conditioned now. You're like a Pavlov's dog.
Right. As soon as you say hi, everything hurts. Everything is great. Oh, what was it? Was it the Lego movie? Everything is awesome.
Yes, it was.
I got to go back and watch that movie now.
More importantly, to all of our SFTB peeps, how's everybody's beginning of their holiday season going? Hopefully all you guys are making a whole bunch of money.
Everybody's knee deep in it from what I'm gathering and from what I'm hearing. Everyone's like, oh, we're back and the holidays are back.
It's awesome. It is so awesome. This week has been, as weird as it sounds after the past 2 years, this beginning of the holiday season has been almost freaking motivating. It's cool. It's way
almost
cool.
It's been almost motivating.
Almost. At least I haven't had anybody tell me I've given them the worst haircut they've ever had in their life this week. Okay. So this week. Next week's a different week. I take each day at a time. The most exciting part of today for me is one of my favorite double process clients is coming in, and I have a new toner for her, and I'm so excited. And we're going to preview those a little later in the broadcast. And I'm really pumped. Because, remember with your double process clients, you're bleaching them or lightening them if you're using lightener. And I felt like I should have small hands to say it, lightener.
No, we used to bleach. No. Say it as it is. Back in the day, we were straight up bleaching people's hair. No, there's no
bleach, baby. Bruce bleach. And then what would we do? We'd put that
give them the coffee stir and say, here you go, knock yourself out. See you in an hour.
Actually, there's a place, and I still have some. There was a sushi restaurant close by to the salon, and I stole a bunch of their chopsticks because wait. The chopsticks were plastic or something, yeah, and they were rounded, so they could itch without abrading their scalp with like the edge of that coffee stir. But yeah, you bleach them, and then what do you do? Then what do we do? We would put the ammoniated toner on that freshly bleached scalp, and what do they do?
You'd make the sign of the cross and put one end, slap it on, take it off, and hopefully it wasn't on long enough where it turned it black.
Well, no, because then I had some of my clients that were like, that were gray in the front. So you used to have to leave that front part out for the first, 5-10 minutes of the processing. So they didn't end up with a purple ring around their head or a blue ring, right?
I'll tell you what, that was some of my favorite times is when we would have a new assistant that we would be training, a new stylist that we would be training. And you'd be back there by the shampoo bowl and you'd be like, all right, here's the next step now. Go get some 1N with 10 vol and, mix it up and bring it to me. We're going to use it to tone her hair. She's like, but she's blonde. I'm like, yes. And we're going to make her, we got to knock out this gold. So go mix up some 1N. And you would just see the wheels turning, it's a new stylist, right?
Right.
What?
The old color line, one of the main color lines that we had at the other shop I was at, they had the European color line. So they didn't go to 1. They went to 2.
Okay.
And I would do the same thing. Go get me some 2N. What? Yeah, give me some 2N. What? It was awesome. So we have probably this is going to be one of your favorite episodes. Because
depends on the quiz.
Well, we're featuring the OG original beauty icon today, which is Cleopatra.
By user request.
So whoever requested this, watch Eddie vibrate in place. Because look at the smile. Look at the smile. He loves Cleopatra.
I do.
So we're gonna start with the quiz, and it's a Cleopatra quiz.
Whoa.
Okay.
No, that's embarrassing now.
Okay. And then we've got.
That's embarrassing because if I get this wrong, I am not a true Cleopatra otaku.
Okay. So
and then I would have to create. I would have to perform ritual seppuku.
Only if you video it.
Faces of death.
Eddie's snuff tape. Okay, you ready?
No.
Yes, you are. True or false? Cleopatra had a cure for baldness.
True.
Yes, true. Okay, you want to know what the cure was?
Yes.
The system that they used would shave. They would shave the balding area daily. They would rub the area with a clean linen cloth and apply the area with a mixture of reed grass, saltpeter, and tar water. And what that would do is first off, all those implements, what they would do is it would decrease inflammation, it would exfoliate, and it would stimulate those follicles that were maybe not dead yet, but it would stimulate them back to life. How cool is that? All the way back, how many thousands of years ago?
And you're talking about just shy of like 3,000 years ago. So think about that, okay?
Right.
And now this is something that, at Thanksgiving last week, I was talking to some of the family members who are very much into the natural life and the natural way of things. And I was saying to them, because they were asking me questions. They're like, so, Mr. Science Man, what do you think of cucumbers? What do you think of mayonnaise? What do you think of eggs? I'm like, I think that sounds like a delicious breakfast or a lunch sandwich or something. But I still don't agree that you should be turning your head into a tossed salad. We have products, nowadays like that you take that and all that thousands of years of research and science, and modern day, you have products such as Xenogen, for example,
right,
that are concentrated and formulated with that in mind, with that natural ingredients in mind, but are concentrated dosages to be applied directly to the scalp and to help produce more consistent results in a more modernized fashion. So it's fascinating. It's fascinating that even like it doesn't matter at what time, at what era, inflammation really is a problem more than anything else. Irritation, inflammation, and the need for cleanliness, for sanitation, and for proper stimulation to fix and solve a problem that have been the main components to solve issues. I mean, come on, man, thousands of years. What more proof do you need? It's freaking amazing.
Right. The other thing that I talk to people about a lot is when they talk about their home remedies is, yeah, it'll work. It's a great topical, but most companies take their products and they're micronized so they can actually penetrate the hair shaft, the hair follicle, what have you. The molecules in food sometimes are too large to actually enter underneath the cuticle or go into the follicle.
Yeah.
And our grandmas used to put, stale beer on their hair because the sugar in the beer used to make their hair shine.
And the wheat germ, right? Didn't the wheat germ help with something too?
Well, and then I worked with an English lady, and she was telling me that her great grandmother used to take nettle from the fields, and boil it, pull the nettle out, and then reduce it again and use it as a hair dressing because of the sugars and the I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank now, but the green thing, the chloroform or whatever.
The chloroform. Here, smell this.
Now let me do your hair. And they would rinse their hair with it to make it shine too. So, question number 2: What animal did Cleopatra bathe in the milk of? She used to bathe in 700 gallons, 700 buckets, they said, of this animal, the milk of this animal, for her skin. A, goats. B, cows. C, donkeys. Or D, monkeys.
Why am I torn between cow and goat? I thought it was cow, but I'm torn between cow and goat. I'm gonna go with, oh, man, crap. I'm gonna go with cow milk.
It's donkey milk.
Donkey milk?
Donkey milk, because donkey milk is high in lactic acid, and it was a great exfoliator for her skin.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah, how about that?
Okay.
How would you like to be the poor person, slaves that had to gather 700 buckets of donkey milk?
Donkey. It reminds me of Shrek. Donkey.
And this is a fun one, and it's funny because in the pre-show we were just talking about this. Okay, what type of eyeliner did Cleopatra wear?
Hold on. The lactic acid was that good for her skin?
Yes, lactic acid is always good for your skin.
How the hell did they even figure that out?
It probably made her skin nice and soft. And you got to remember, I mean, they didn't know anything about lactic acid. You knew that, back then. But
I'm just saying, man, it's freaking fascinating to me.
But think about all how the air quality, especially like in Egypt, with the dust and the everything blowing around, the sand. How you really need to do a deep clean, especially if you're a beauty icon like she was.
So wild, man.
Isn't that nuts? Okay.
Could you imagine sitting in a tub of milk?
No. No. How about
I'm just thinking right now, the only thought I have in my mind is a bowl of cereal.
right?
And the milk left over after a bowl of cereal.
And you're like a Fruit Loop just spinning around in the middle of it.
My mind is going in so many different directions right now.
They got to get you off these pain meds, man.
All right. This is what we're doing this weekend. We got to find a donkey.
Tell Carm you want to fill the tub up with donkey milk.
With donkey milk. Oh, Carmelina. That would make a mess out of the museum that is our house. And
okay.
We do not create dust and clutter in this house.
I live that, my friend. What's this? Why is this out?
I was making a joke. She was like, she throws everything out. She's really big on throwing everything out, right? So she's always checking labels and expiration dates. So I always have to say, I have to put a tag. I have to replace my tag every week and put a new expiration date on myself. I woke up one morning, she was putting a garbage bag over me. She thought I expired. Says, no tag, when in doubt, throw it out. And I'm like, she gets so mad when I say that too.
Look, when Aaron sends me, I go to the store. Aaron always calls me. Are you checking the expiration dates? Yes, baby, I am. Yes. So your next question. What type of eyeliner did Cleopatra wear? Your choice is Kohl, and that's spelled Kohl, like the store. Bird Dung, Maybelline, or Walgreens.
Maybelline. Wasn't it Kohl?
Yeah, it was Kohl. Kohl, not Kohl as in the
not like charcoal. Wasn't it the charcoals left over from the fires?
Here it was crushed minerals.
Yeah.
It was soot.
So yeah.
And it was applied generously around her eyes. And you know why they did that? Because she had a sensitivity to light a little bit. And her applying it darker actually helped filter some of the light coming into her eyes, and it turned into a trend. And it protected her eyes from the Egyptian sun. So really, if you think about it, anytime you watch a football game or a baseball game, Cleopatra helped them with the eye black because it reduces the glare.
Isn't that wild, man?
How nuts is that?
3,000 years later.
And think about it.
I'm just rounding up to saying 3,000 years, by the way. I know it's not precisely exactly 3,000 years.
Let's just agree it's 3,000 years.
But come on, man. That's freaking awesome.
Wait, and she has a chain of stores named after her eyeliner, Kohl's.
Is that really what it is?
It's got to be. It's KOHLS. And they sell makeup and stuff.
If that's true, that's pretty wild.
We'll have to do a deep dive on the history of the
history of Kohl's.
But how cool is that? How awesome is that? So here's another true or false question for you. Okay. Cleopatra used olive oil as a skin moisturizer.
Yeah. And then, oh man, true. And then she used something combined with the olive oil to bronze her skin.
Yes. And also you got to remember with olive oil, there's a ton of essential fatty acids in olive oil. Excuse me, guys. Yeah. Crack that back.
I'm trying, man.
Oh.
I'm so squirmy.
Now here's your last one. Last one, and then we'll really get into some fun crap about Cleopatra. True or false? She used jasmine, myrrh, or cinnamon mixed with essential oils as hair perfume.
Didn't she use a little bit of all of that?
Yeah, you could pick either one, any one of them. But
yeah,
true or false? Yes.
True or false? Oh, excuse me. I thought, my bad. I misunderstood. Yes, true.
Absolutely true.
I thought you were giving me multiple choice and I had to pick one of them. I completely misunderstood.
She was I don't know if she was the originator, but she was always of the mindset of your first impression is a lasting impression. They said that about her. And she said not only visually, but also the other senses. And that's why she used scents like that in her hair to leave a lasting impression.
What's fascinating about her is that she was actually Macedonian.
Yeah.
She's not Egyptian. She was the ruler of Egypt for a long time, but she was actually born in Egypt of Macedonian descent, which modern day is Greek.
Right.
So because there's so many arguments. It's like, was she fair skinned? Was she dark skinned? But every time you see, she's always depicted as bronzed, which in modern times means tan.
Yep.
And it's so wild. But then they attribute the fact that as she was growing up, she had a very extreme grand appreciation for Egyptian culture, but she still respected her Macedonian, her Greek heritage, right? So it's really wild. She basically decided to give herself the best of both worlds. And by bronzing her skin all the time, by tanning her skin all the time, she never got too dark, but she never stayed too light.
Right.
And that just became such an impression. That became such an iconic thing. Look at it nowadays. We have self-tanners, bronzers, full out tanning, and every model, every beauty, every whatever contest, everything. Anytime somebody's going to go on vacation, everybody's always talking about tanned. We literally have the expression, look at that tanned beauty. We
Right.
don't, we never say, look at that pale. Well, I do say, look at that pale beauty, but we associate paleness with, dear God, look at how pale you are. You look sickly. You need to get a tan. You need some sun. Only if you go into the more Eastern regions, like the Asian cultures, did they perceive the porcelain skin to be of purity. That's really all that was. It wasn't necessarily for beauty. It was more for purity.
Right.
But in regards to beauty, it was always very much agreed the bronzed, tanned skin was always the most sought after. That's like the perfect color.
It brings the idea of health to, this is a healthy person.
Health and somehow glow. It enhances features and curves on the body most nicely, I guess, and all that stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if she originated that, but she definitely adopted. And this is the thing that we're talking about right now. We're not saying it's because of her we have all this modern things. We are saying she was probably the first recorded history influencer.
Right.
We're not saying she's the originator of anything. She is most definitely the influencer of everything.
Right. And how cool is that because of her, I mean, and I don't like this word, but her diversity, because being Macedonian, being a part of the Egyptian culture, and then becoming part of the Roman culture because of her relationships. I mean, those are three, right at that point in time, were the center of the globe.
Mm-hmm. That was the globe at that time.
She had all those influences coming in her way, and then for her to turn around and actually influence what goes on in those societies back then. I mean, really, and there was no TikTok, there was no Instagram,
Well, you know what you had? Bards singing songs and telling tales in the tavern.
Yeah.
Toss a coin to your witcher.
That's what it was. It was, along those lines. I was watching, what movie was it? It was Troy. I was watching Troy with Brad Pitt, and and they kept saying, like, when people would meet Helen of Troy, I heard you were beautiful, but not this beautiful. You know what I mean? So obviously, stories traveled thousands and thousands of miles. It's super cool. I mean, it's way cool.
Yeah.
So
it's way cool.
Since you were talking about her bronzer contained royal jelly, which is the gel substance from beehives.
Okay.
It contained aloe leaf juice.
Okay.
And it hemp seed oil.
Okay.
And it bentonite clay powdered up.
Wild.
That's funny because when you mentioned it, I went, I know what this is.
Isn't that so wild, dude? Like, it's still used in modern day stuff.
All of these things are used in modern cosmetics and hair products and everything. So,
what is that nowadays? That's still spray tans. That's still found in waxes, in pomades, in hair gels.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
So here's the fun part, because then I dove in to find out why each product.
Okay.
So, royal jelly actually has a regenerative process on the hair, on the skin. It'll actually help regenerate skin cells. Okay. The bentonite clay will actually drew out impurities from the skin, but then it also added that color. The hemp seed oil is a moisturizer, and it has such a high content of essential fatty acids And aloe leaf juice, as we know, is a great moisturizer and a great healing, has healing properties for the skin. How
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
is that? How dope is that?
And then piggybacking on those ingredients with a little bit more coal tar mixed in, that's how they made her hair color. She was not that jet black as she's
Right,
depicted. She
right.
colored her hair jet black.
Yes, yes.
And that was another, it had to do with multiple things. Somehow she figured out that reflected the sun the best, with along with her eyeliner, gave her more protection against the sun, but it also made her glow because the jet black, the darker you go with hair color, the more pigmentation there is. It makes your hair look fuller, thicker. It refracts light off of it stronger. So it gives that glow, it gives that shine. It makes the hair look healthier and stronger. And everything about her was divinity, strength, and beauty. Her impression was so important in regards to culture, in regards to politics, in regards to being a divine ruler of all. And that's why she did these things. And so that's, yeah, just to piggyback on your ingredients, mix in some coal tar. That's where, modern day henna for hair color is attributed to, is a lot of that research of where she figured out all this soil and how she figured out all these ingredients.
Right. But how
It's insane.
it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing how 3,000 years later these products are still used in some form or another.
And then there's the hair.
And there's the hair.
Then there's the hair. So she had two hairstyles that she was hardcore on. One was the melon style. The other one was the Hattoric style.
What's the difference?
The difference is the melon style is really more attributed to her Greek origin, to her Macedonian origin. And it's a lot of sweeping curves, soft angles. Okay. And if you think about that in modern day time, that's why we attribute a lot of finger waves and a lot of buns and a lot of ponytails, is all those sweeping, soft, elegant curves.
Right.
It's awesome.
How cool is that?
And then you got the Hattoric style, which is more sharp angles and lines combined with braids. Think about updos. Think about anything with a braid in it, man. And then of course the Cleopatra classic look of the square box cut with the braids added into that. I mean, come on. Any movie you've ever seen, look at any runway thing, look at any celebrity. I mean, there are celebrities that are listed. Help me so I don't mess these up. Rihanna, Minaj,
Nicki Minaj,
Beyonce,
and
who's the other one? I was
Zendaya.
Zendaya. Okay, some of the most influential, famous people that my retarded dumbass doesn't know. These are the most famous celebrity women walking around rocking these looks. And it's so influential to modern day culture, modern day pop culture and stuff. It's wild. And then you've got the what are they called? The fashion designers?
Yeah.
The what did you tell me? Dolce
Gabbana.
Versace.
They're all influenced.
Right.
Any major designer.
Alexander McQueen.
Yep.
These are huge. These are strong names. I mean, don't take it from me. Just because I don't know modern day culture. I mean, if you know, it's one of those things. If you know, 99% of the world doesn't live under a rock like I do. Everybody knows these things. And I am like so impressed that I'm learning these things too. I'm like, I really do live under a rock, man. Holy cow.
Right.
It's wild. Black Panther, the movie Black Panther, which I did see a couple years back. It was an awesome movie. so cool to find out that a lot of the hairstyles from that movie were influenced from that.
And the fashion, and a lot of the fashion was
A
too.
lot of the fashion too, right? Such a
Wakanda
strong
forever.
influences. Wakanda for life, yeah, like the whole thing.
Forever.
Oh, excuse me, Wakanda forever. Yeah, like I said, I don't don't take pop culture references from me, man. You know. But if I'm learning about it, then that means the rest of the world already knew about this for at least 5-10 years before I find out about something.
Wait, how old are you?
173 years.
So they've known it for 173 years.
Let me tell you, man. It's so yeah. Ask me science. I know science, right? Ask
Yeah.
me pop culture. Like you can only be smart in one thing. You can't be smart in. You can't be the jack of trades. I am not a jack of trades. I am very much a specialist in what I know, and what I know damn well. And what I don't know, I have no clue, nor do I even fancy to try to attempt to know. That's why the quiz is so fun, because I'm like, ooh, that's you should hit me with a pop culture quiz. Do I know more than a fifth grader when it comes to pop culture quizzes?
Do not tempt me with these things.
Oh, maybe that's what we should do. One of these quizzes. And what do I know about pop culture and hair?
So let's find out what you know right now.
Hit me.
Let's find out what you know about the new toners from All Nutrient.
Okay, I have a cheat sheet. That's how much I don't know. I don't know the names. I know that I understand the colors. I know the colors. But the names of these things is going to take me a minute to learn, because
I'm not worried about the names, because we know the base colors. We know the contributing colors to them.
Okay.
Because I went digging, because we got an email about them at some point, and I don't know what I did with the email.
Fair enough.
And because, see, you don't know pop culture, I don't know technology. Okay,
well, attention is what you don't.
I don't. Well, that too, but that, once again, that falls under technology, because that's a video game. I guess a brief explanation first. When Eddie refers to "you don't know Ascension," it is a video game.
This is a 20-year-old. I still haven't let you live this down. This is from 20 years ago.
Okay, and when I play video games, I'm just basically spinning in circles, pushing buttons. Okay, but I was online.
I'm not that far off behind you.
And that's what it is. Ascension was a video game, and I was a complete and total idiot one night. Pretty much,
we got roped in by two of our buddies, which they knew very well what was happening. We had no idea what was going on. We were like the bench warmers. They just needed a couple of bodies.
That's it. We were the cannon fodder, if you will. So, that's where the joke "you don't know Ascension" comes from. So anyway, so we've got how many new shades?
It's 7. I know that much.
7 new shades. I did yesterday, in between clients, make swatches. Now these are, I got these on Amazon. They're the Amazon swatches, and these are what they originally look like, guys. This is what they came right out of the package as.
Pull it away from the light a little bit. The light is too bright. Just to give it control.
Is that better?
Yeah, like put it up against your chest.
Oh yeah. Hey, good idea.
Yeah,
that's what they look like. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as a group, and we'll go through them one by one, but as a group, these are the toners, and they're pretty flippin' awesome.
Yeah. So what does it span across, like 3 or 4 series of colors, 7 colors in 3 different series?
Hey, I can give them to you.
Or 4 different series?
There's an 8RG, a level 8. That's the rose gold, right?
Show the rose gold then. Okay.
This is 8RG against.
And it's the same 2 swatches.
Yeah, I did 2 of each, because I did one for
2 of each. Yeah.
Because I care about my friend.
Aww. Which is the level 8. I mean, rose gold is a beautiful color. That's been very popular year over year.
Yeah, the lighting here is not doing this justice. This is actually a true perfect rose gold. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me, maybe if I get closer and lean there. It is a true rose gold.
The light is so bright. Your light is
Yeah.
way so bright.
My bright's bad. I'm sorry, guys. But you know what? Once again, it's a swatch. It's an interpretation. And then there's the GI series. This is the 10 GI, which is absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. It'll give you that perfect buttery blonde.
Okay.
There's the 8.
So buttery blonde. So a little bit of warmth. It looks pretty light.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty light. I don't know.
It's not platinum. There's a slight warmth to it. But
there's a touch of gold to it.
So is it like Land O'Lakes butter, or is it? I can't believe it's not butter.
It's more like Irish butter.
Everything is food. Everything is food.
Everything's food. Okay. Now here's the coolest one, because for your clients that want that beachy blonde, that their highlights to be, you know, I just want my favorite term, caramel. That is such a subjective term. It makes me crazy.
You know what? Maybe we should make that one of the reviews. Is figuring out what that color is.
Write it down. So this is the 8 GI. I don't know if you guys can see this, but nice. It is like a sun blonde. It really is. It looks like if you have level 6 hair and you spent the summer at your beach house.
Okay. Okay.
So that's 8 GI. And then this one. This is level 8 double violet. 8 VV.
Whoa.
Now, all of these swatches were processed. It's the Keratin color line, okay, which is the liquid color. All of these were processed with the Plus lotion, and for 20 minutes. I let them all sit for 20 minutes because rule of thumb when toning is for every minute equals a shampoo, right?
Right.
So I just went 20 minutes with these, and look at that.
So Keratin color from All Nutrient, one of the developers is the Demi Plus developer, which is the equivalent of 2.9. It's like 3%.
Yeah, it's 10 volume, roughly.
So that's the Plus developer. The Demi developer, the standard developer, is 1.6.
Yes, like 3 volume. So now here's the one. Here's the one that I'm going to use today. This is 9V. And let me just get my sleeve. Check this out. If I can make these guys lay next to each other. Can you see that?
Pull it back a little further. Maybe it won't be so bright. That looks really platinum, though. Like, that looks light.
This is true platinum. This is the 9V.
That is cool.
And just remember, I mean, just to put it into it started out with this brassy blonde, right?
That's the control swatch, right?
That's the control swatch. This was only with 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I let this sit maybe like another 10, it would be that true, almost paper white blonde. That's awesome. So that's 9V. And then next is 9OR.
That's the one I'm waiting for, because that's the one I'm going to do tomorrow.
9OR. That is an awesome color.
I'm going to do that as a low light. Tomorrow.
On a blonde would be awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. And then I was also thinking, how would that work on somebody with a chocolate brown base?
What level?
6.
I think it would be really pretty. Maybe.
Like thinner pieces, not chunky, not slicey pieces, like
teeny tiny little pieces.
Yeah.
9OR, and maybe just a little bit of 8T.
Okay.
Just to add a little more depth, so it's not such a stark contrast. Does that make sense?
Sure. It's all going to be, it's going to be to the comfort of the client.
Right.
I'll give her both options. I'll let her know, like, if does she want a little bit more on the conservative side, or does she want to be a little bit more on the fashion side?
Yeah, yeah. And then this
Like
is
contrast versus blended. Yeah.
and then this is the last one, which is 9NG, which is what's this?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Now, once again, these are all this way.
The camera.
Leave me alone. Anybody who's watching knows I am freaking challenged when it comes to this stuff. Are you happy now?
Awesome.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
So happy. So happy.
Does it make the pain in your back go away?
No, but it still makes me happy regardless. The cool thing about keratin, though, is that as a liquid color, as a liquid-based color with no ammonia in it, these toners, they are still 100% oxidative dyes. They still have full pigmentation to them. And with the thing with all nutrient, every single shade of color starts off with a primary base. It does not start with a secondary. It starts with a primary base. The reason why that's equally just as important as being 100% oxidative dye, the amount of deposit that you're going to get full penetration and full deposit. That is going to equal longer longevity throughout washes. It's going to, if the color is going to start washing out, if something adversely is going to occur and happen, it's going to be far less. It's going to be far, far less. And it's going to stay on tone. It's not going to open up and wash out into some weird, color. It's truly going to knock out whatever exposed pigment was there first, and it's going to overtake and become those formulas, those colors. So as those start to wash out, or what we perceive as fadage, it's going to be that. So to refresh and to rebalance out that color again is going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy. You're not going to have a corrective on your own hands.
Right. You're not creating your own corrective.
You're not creating your own corrective.
I'm gonna go out there on a limb right now, and I may upset some people, but this is a liquid color, like Eddie said, but it is not like the other liquid color that people use to tone with. Okay, we don't want to mention any brand names.
Okay.
This stuff, the dye load that is involved in these colors, in all the keratin colors, but especially in these, is basically that other liquid color line on steroids. It is huge. When it oxidized, I went, wow. So the thing to remember is the dye loads in this are heavy duty. So you really, really can't just slap it on and walk away. You have to stay there and watch it, because you're good. And that's 5 or 10 minutes, 20 minutes that's well invested, because your client's going to get that kind of longevity with their color. It's a huge investment. And the spreadability is huge. This stuff works itself. You work it through the hair. You don't need to mix a full bottle of whatever.
A little bit of this goes a long way.
It will spread. It will. It's just huge, and the colors are just dynamite. We were asked when we went, if we go back a couple weeks ago when we talked with Tony about this, Tony from All Nutrient, like he said, we decided, normally All Nutrient is a colorist palette. They decided to do some point and click colors for us, and they're right on target with these. They're gorgeous. It's awesome. And the way the hair feels afterwards is just phenomenal.
So clarify one thing for me, because I think I know what you mean, but I want to make sure, because I believe these colors are very forgiving as well too. But you mentioned that you want to stay and watch them. You want to be on top of them because of the pigmentation.
Right.
It's not like it's going to go overly dark, or it's not like it's going to turn some weird thing.
Right. But you want to stay
Expand
right.
on that thought for a moment, because somebody that may not be used to this may not understand what you meant.
What I meant by that is you want to stay right with it because it's not going to go overly dark, but it is a heavy duty dye load. It is a massive. It is a dye load, and you want to be right there. So when you hit that target color, you can take it right off, and not have to worry about creating your own corrective color. But you know what? Like I said, I've left keratin on the hair a little bit longer than I should have. I'm not going to lie to you. You never, do that. I know.
I do it all the time.
and
That's why I know it's very forgiving, because I do it all the time.
And 9 times out of 10, usually my client goes, I love this. Look at the shine. Look at the shine. But when you're toning's a different story.
Well, full disclosure, even with toning, I still tend to leave my toners on a little longer than I should, only because I'm usually juggling. I double book a lot.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes, well, I shouldn't say sometimes, a lot of the times I don't have the assistant help.
Right.
Assistants can't keep up, or they're off doing something else. And, we do tend to.
Yeah. I don't have an assistant. That's why when I was doing these swatches, I did a blow dry while they were processing. And it was when I was doing the 8 VVs. And I came back and it was purple. And I went, and that was this one processed probably a good 25 minutes. 25. But look at that. I mean, look at that deposit.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Look at the deposit. Now, and along with what Tony was talking about is, yeah, it's point and click, but you can also do dilutions with these colors. You can, it is a full, it's an artist palette. You can get as creative or as not creative as you want. So yeah, I you know what? Let me walk back on that statement of be careful. Just you're going to get a better deposit than you would. You're going to get better deposit than you would from some other gel, some other liquid color lines.
I think the thing that makes people nervous is that this is so oxidative. You start to see it develop immediately. You don't have to wait a couple of minutes for the color to start showing up. That color is looking like what it's going to look like immediately. And then you're like, oh, ooh, I think that's ready. And it's like, oh, it's only been a minute. It's like, no. You're seeing the power of true oxidative pigmentation.
Yeah, you know what? You're putting that better. So I'm gonna walk back from that statement. It's just as with some other color lines, you get those indirect dyes.
You got PTSD is what you've got.
When you're as old as I am and been doing this as long as I am, you've got some scars.
That's awesome.
You've had to either use Prel shampoo or mix up some bleach shampoo and water, and do a quick bleach cap.
Man, I've used straight Tide.
Straight Tide. I just break the pod over their head.
You know what? This is why we know what we're talking about. We have made the mistakes. We have lessons learned. Man, do we have lessons learned. So what is going to be our lesson learned for this week? What do you got for me this week?
I got a great quote for you this week.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Swallow your tea. All right. The question is, who isn't going to let me? It's who's going to stop me.
I'm the juggernaut. Loaded like a freight train, flying like an aeroplane.
The question is, who's going to let me? It's who's going to stop me.
You are 100 years too soon, young one, to challenge me. oh, you've only brought an army of 10,000? It might make me break a sweat.
We'll fight in the shade. I think it's pretty poignant. I think it's very poignant because, you know,
This is every conversation when I call you and say, hey, bro, I got an idea. It's probably not a good one, but I'm going to talk it out with you. Why should I not do this? It's not.
Should I? It's not should I do this? It's who? Why shouldn't I? Look, I'm going to take and Eddie and I are perfect examples of this because when we hatched this hour of whatever we do every week, I still remember there's no way anybody's going to want to buy into this. No way. Who's going to want to listen to, this? And look where we are now. We're coming up on a year, dude. We're coming up on a year. We have people that are asking us to do things now. Cover this subject, cover that subject. Give us the Cleopatra episode. Show me beauty school pictures of Eddie.
It's fun. It's fun.
So, and it was, and our question was, it wasn't, should we do this? It was more like, how do we do this?
How do we do this? It really, there really was a thing, right? It was like, because you were like, man, we should do a podcast. I'm like, all right, how do we do a podcast? Well, we need this, and this. Okay. How does that work? Right. What do we need to do to make this, and this happen? It's like, well, what do other people do? Let's start talking to people, start asking clients, start asking friends, start Googling things and looking things up.
Right.
It was never once, is this a bad idea? Should we be really doing this? It was more of, what day should we do this on? Should we do this on Monday? Should we do this on Tuesday? Well, I'm busy on Tuesday. Okay. Should we do this on Sunday? Should we do it at night? Should we do it in the morning? Everything was, which way should we do something? How are we doing this?
Right. It's like I always tell my wife, it's better to ask forgiveness than for permission.
That's one of those, so that I could piggyback on this advice. That's one of those shoot first or shoot twice, aim once or something, or like cut twice, aim measure once.
No, how does that measure twice, cut once.
No. It's the other way around.
Well, you also don't read directions. I know that too.
Isn't it like run, fall, crawl or something?
Crawl, walk, run?
No. You just start running first and then you fall face plant.
No, that's not what this says.
And then you start crawling.
This quote is more about don't be your own enemy. Don't beat your own enemy. Believe in yourself and keep moving forward. And anybody that gets in your way, you go around them.
You go through them.
You can do that too.
I'm the juggernaut. Right through a wall.
I personally have had some people try to stand in my way for things that I wanted to accomplish, and especially in this business. And I have personally eliminated. I just eliminated them from my world. I didn't eliminate them. There are no bodies hidden. But I eliminated them from my world because no one's going to stop me from getting doing what I want to do.
Is it, could this also be said as talkers versus doers?
100%. You can talk about something till the cows come home. Until you take action, what have you done? So that is I think it's pretty strong, pretty poignant for us this week. This was a fun one. This was a really fun episode with the Cleopatra stuff. We got to talk about new toners. We got a little motivation. Also, we have a new website. Our website, htbbeauty.com. Get on it, guys. Register. Get a professional account. You can do all your ordering straight through the website.
You can do all your ordering. We're also adding on technical support documents, videos, and instructional things every week and every month. We're working on building up more stuff. The response to the website has been great, so we really appreciate that from everybody. And we are still taking a lot of the user requests. I have a list going now. I mean, you and I have been starting to talk about it. So it's right now. It sucks because it's the holiday rush right now with the clients, and everybody knows that pain really good. We're trying to actively work on the requests in the midst of the holiday rush to try to get stuff out, as quickly as possible. And then come January, man, are we going to be full force? And we're going to be full force in shooting.
And all educational opportunities will be on the website, guys.
Yes, all educational opportunities will be on the website. The other thing is, because this is actually a fun one. If you are interested in producing content with us, some of you have reached out and have made mention of that. Don't be shy. Let us know. And there is some level of content that we can and will create with you or help you create too. So that's actually been an interesting request. I just got tagged on social media by somebody who made a couple of videos that I gave her an idea to do. So that was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The interaction is so much fun. And thank you guys so much. We know, as doing business with HTB, you see how open we are and how accessible we are. And that's something that we take great pride in.
Right.
Is being accessible to each and all of you. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So guys, thanks for a great week. We will see you next week, same time, same channel. Hopefully Eddie's back will be a little better.
Remember to do your stretches in between clients, the positions we hold for extended times. Oh, it hurts.
A lot. Thanks, guys, and we will see you next week. Have a great week.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.